our world. Serie our world.
Hi, man.
You alright?
Yeah, how's it going?
Yeah, getting by. You alright?
Yeah, all good. Everything's going well. There's obviously Serie A playing as we speak, so we're a bit late, but we'll get everything updated and at you guys listening shortly. Playing a bit of catch up this time round. But yeah, just let's get straight into it and talk about a lot of the action that's gone by in the week. I guess we can start with last weekend's Serie A games. I don't know if you have a highlighted game or a standout game for you, but for sure, that's for me. The standout result was the Como Napoli,
Yeah.
which has opened up the top part of the table, the let's say the top two places. But yeah, did you have any other games that
I
you were
mean,
thinking
I think
about?
I was even mentioning it last week that these type of games might get overlooked as such, but they are going to be open. And I mean, all the so-called bigger teams were messing up. It seemed, apart from Inter originally. Uh, Obviously, we had Lazio withdrawing 0-0, Venezia, Milan losing 2-1 to Torino, Napoli
Mm,
lost 2-1 to Como, Fiorentina lost to Verona 1-0. Like,
mm,
all those teams that had a chance to push up the table messed up.
yes.
And then, as you say, in just about 1-0 against Genoa, and then you got Juve winning 1-0, and then Roma and Atalanta both destroying their teams. Roma winning 4-0 and Atalanta winning 5-0 against Monza and Empoli, respectively. So, yeah, I mean, as I say, like always, it's hard to just pick an actual game to say what's going on. But I mean, the inconsistencies in the teams, they need to really stop and focus and really get themselves going in the table. But as a neutral Serie A fan, it's great to see because the table's just getting tighter and tighter, and
Yeah, it
anyone
is.
anyone could end up winning this.
It is, and this is all the results are happening. You know, I guess from a couple of weeks ago till now and going forward, it's affecting the future of the big teams. You know, we've seen Milan, for example, and I guess yeah, you mentioned that Torino result, but there was also their midweek game, the
Yeah,
catch-up game to
same
Bologna.
same.
Yeah, crazy as well. That again, I say affecting the big teams. I mean. God, will they get into the Champions League? I don't think so anymore. It's really looking unlikely because if in Italy we don't get that fifth spot, God, even then if we had it or we'll get it, I don't know if Milan are going to finish there
Who knows?
playing
I
that
say
way.
if it's about all the teams really, they really from a Milan point of view, they need to win every game left and hope that everything goes their way. I mean, the way they've been playing, the likelihood of that is pretty low. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But I mean,
Exactly, exactly, and that's just one of the big teams I'm talking about. Also, in Napoli, you know, there's Conte. There's strong rumours if he messes the game up tonight against Inter that you know he may well be on the move, blaming the lack of transfers or the requested transfers that he'd put his sort of list out for. He didn't get. Then Juventus, they've recently said no, we back Motta, even though. Yeah, recent things which we can get onto when we talk about the Coppa Italia happened that he's got the backing. But yeah, no, it's a lot going on. This is just that top part with the traditional big
exactly, and we've
teams.
still got the relegation battles going on as well. So I mean, as always, Serie A, mate, it's just there's no, it's not a league you could say right from top to bottom. This is how the table should be finishing from the beginning of the season.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? Yeah, it's always a tough one to call. But yeah, were you surprised by that Coppa Italia? By the way, all the results will be scrolling as we speak. You
Yeah,
can see
I
those. But
mean,
yeah, were you
just before we get
surprised?
onto there, obviously, just to show the fact with the prediction front, like we can see how difficult it is. I mean, I got 50%, you got 30%, and AI got 40%. Do you know what I mean? A lot of the results weren't going as expected on paper, but I did mention that last week anyway. On paper is never how a game finishes in Serie A. That's the league, but in Coppa Italia terms, um, the game. I mean, I thought the best game was Juve Empoli over the Inter Lazio.
Mm.
Empoli played brilliant. They deserved to go through, even if Juve may have different opinions on that, as they expect to go through considering their status. But Empoli, first time in semi-finals, 1-1, and then they won 5-3 on penalties, and then obviously we said beat Lazio 2-0 to set up a Milan derby and Empoli Bologna, which is great. And I think that's really good for the Coppa Italia. But for some reason, they're saying the Saudis are saying if Bologna or Empoli are in the Super Coppa next year, they're not going to host it, which I think is terrible. Just shows you how much they actually value the competition itself, but who's in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it would be amazing for Empoli or Bologna to get there because, as I mentioned a few episodes back, the prize money for getting over there is crazy, and they could do with that money. So I hope that that kind of does happen,
I
just for
mean,
their sake.
yeah, and it's going to be difficult because Bologna is not going to be a pushover. Bologna's got a good team. They're starting to hit form again, and considering how they were took apart quite a bit, and from last season they've started pulling back in again. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's going to happen, but I think if they could keep most of their team, especially that front line, then they'll be doing very well next season. But I think just as always with these teams, all the big teams are going to start coming in and picking their players off as well, which will be it's not really good to see. But what can we do?
Yeah, fully agreed. Yeah, so I guess that was the status of what happened in the Coppa Italia. So there's a
Mm.
Milan derby on one side and a
Yeah,
Empoli Bologna on the other, and those games will be played. I think it's April, so not right now in the immediate
yeah,
like week or so.
exactly. And you don't even know where
Yeah,
the teams are going to be at that point.
yeah,
It's a hard one to just say now. Right, this should be happening. I mean,
yeah,
I'm hoping for Empoli's sake because, as I said, they were one of the teams that were unbeaten in the beginning of the season, one of the last teams to be beaten. If they can do what they did against Juve for the rest of the season, they should be all right. They played a lot of their kids as well, and I think they should be starting this weekend in their game against Genoa.
yeah. I would like to see that. You know, those the famous eight changes made. Sorry, I'm not sure if you caught what I was saying there, but I was just saying, yeah, it'd be good to see that famous eight changes made team again. I hope it's not the last we saw of it in that game, in
Well,
that
that's it. I mean,
Coppa
you'd
game.
think if they played that well against Juventus, I mean, they should have no choice really but to play that team again. It's like
Yeah,
you can't swap it out and then mess up, and
yeah,
then what? You don't get that momentum going again. So I think that will be their starting lineup versus Genoa. But obviously, I'm not the manager, so I can't pick that. But as I say, we got. I mean, the weekend's already kicked off. Fiorentina won yesterday, but I mean, obviously, I know we're going to talk about this next week. And then Atalanta are playing Venezia now, and literally just now, Lookman's blasted over from about 2 yards.
is it
So
still 0-0 though?
it's still 0-0, and it's the 8th minute. So they're
Wow,
struggling to get a
wow,
goal.
wow.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I don't.
great.
It's considering they won 5-0. This is what the problem with Atalanta at the moment is, this inconsistency. I mean, I know the game's not over yet, and from what I gather, because I've not seen the whole game, from what I gather, they've been dominating mainly with shots and stuff, but not really much on target.
Yeah,
Um, and you know how these games usually go. It's either the other team goes down the other end of the score, or it just stays like this, doesn't it? So
yeah.
we'll see. But yeah, I mean, obviously we've got the Napoli Inter coming up at 5.
Yeah, I just saw the lineups are confirmed officially, so I'm going to dig into those after this. I've got a couple of betting tips I'd like to tell you about offline.
Yeah,
Obviously, we're not really making this into a
yeah,
betting
yeah,
show, but yeah, we'll discuss that after. Just a friendly one, see what happens, and then yeah, I guess we've got the rest of the games to play. But I'm talking about the Champions League next week and Europa and Conference.
yeah. The round 6.
Yeah, so we have it's Feyenoord Inter
Yeah,
Tuesday.
no, Wednesday,
Um,
isn't it?
okay.
I think Feyenoord Inter's on Wednesday, and then we got the Victoria Pilsen, Lazio, and Roma Bilbao on Thursday, and then the Conference League Panathinaikos versus Fiorentina on the Thursday as well. So yeah, the only two games being played at the same time are the Lazio and Roma ones. So it'd be picking between them. But I mean, I'm not going to get ahead of myself and say something I don't that I'll regret. But I'd probably end up watching the Roma game because that should be the more tougher one for any of the two teams, shall we say?
Yeah,
Hopefully, we don't get any more of. I'm hoping this bad streak in Europe has gone now, and
yeah,
the ones left over are actually going to do something.
yeah. Let's hope. I mean, they've got the team to do it, so each one of them. So
Well,
yeah, let's see that. I'm going to be tuning in and watching carefully.
yeah, I mean, Fiorentina have got to the final twice of this new competition, isn't it? It's not even that
Yeah,
old. I mean, the Italian teams
yeah.
seem to do well in it, so maybe this could be, hopefully, fingers crossed, third time lucky that they can get to the final and actually win it. And then if we could get Lazio, Roma on the other side of each other, I can't remember. I think they are. So I think there is. Again, I'm not. It can't get too ahead of yourself, but there is, I think, a potential possibility of a Rome derby final in the Europa, which would be probably the best game they could have out of the remaining teams. And then obviously we've got our hopes on Inter of actually revenging Milan against Feyenoord, and then showing them how to actually beat them, and then hopefully going to the end of that as well and doing something. It would be great if, even though the Italian teams haven't performed well this season, if they can still get a winner in each of the competitions, then it's all still worth it, isn't it? So
It is. Yeah, it is. And I guess that just leaves we can just touch on next weekend's fixtures there. So for me, I've had a look, and the pick of the games for me, the standout is the Juve Atalanta on Sunday next week.
yeah,
There's a few other challenging games, but yeah, for me, it would be that one that I'll be really interested in watching.
yeah. I mean, it's going to depend obviously on the results of this weekend as well. But I
Yeah.
mean, all these teams are playing each other, and they need to. I mean, they're struggling against the other teams, let alone each other. So it's going to be one of those things that the table's just going to keep going swaying. I think it's more of a wave at the moment, going up and down. But I think
Mm,
there's no one clear favourites, I would say, at the moment to go on and win
yeah.
this, and even into get into Champions League and stuff. I mean, so the more you go on down the fixture list, the games coming up are crazy. As I say, I know we're going to go over them, but there's obviously Fiore, Juve, Atalanta in. All these games are coming up, and then at Milan, Napoli, Fiore, Atalanta, like they're all going to be playing each other. So there's nothing settled at all at the
Of
moment.
course not. Of course not. It's really crunch time. It's a great time to, if you've missed all the games till now, you'll have a great time
Yeah,
just
yeah.
seeing what happens now with that table.
Yeah, and yeah, go on.
No, I was just going to say, aside from that, from my side, there wasn't much more. I did have any other business bit to mention, but did you have
Yeah,
anything outside of fixtures and games that you wanted to talk about?
I mean, not really. I was just enjoy Serie A, and that's it. That's all I want to do.
Nice. I like it. I do have one thing, which is just like I said to you, I don't know what this obsession is, but I'm just interested in Milan, the ownership, like the direction it's going in. And for me, it's about Conceição. You know how I said when he joined, I'm just so interested in seeing what direction does he take the team in. I'm seeing rumours right now that they're lining up other managers to replace. He's even come out and said, if they want to fire me, so what if I'm too tough, etc. So I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you think he's going to? Do you think we'll see him till the end of the summer, or is
I
he
mean,
actually getting fired?
it's. I mean, if they lose tomorrow against Lazio, I think
Yeah.
is the like. Sorry, I'll just. Venezia should have scored, and they just messed up. Yeah, I mean, if he loses against Lazio, I think that'll give him the perfect excuse to just say that that's it, done. And with the rumours of Tassotti coming in as
Yeah.
caretaker, possibly, but
Yeah.
that if you look at it from a Milan point of view, that for me worries me in the sense of that will be another person. I think I've already said to you that I think they're going to end up scapegoating, which means
Yeah.
Tassotti will end up leaving Milan. I think by the end of the season, if that happens, and
Wow.
then how many legends actually want to bother
Exactly.
going back again with
It's
this?
crazy, isn't it? It's absolutely crazy.
The problem Milan is just I've been saying it for seasons and seasons, and it's not because I'm picking on them, but it's just the truth, and it's just like any other team. If any other team was doing the same, I'd say exactly the same. The From the top, so it starts from the top. Wherever they want to look at it, it starts from the top, and those people running it, from what they show and how they put about their business in terms of Milan, they don't care about the club at all. Don't care what they say. Words are just words. It's the actions that matter. And if you're not going to invest in the club, then what's the point? They just seems to me they're just trying to get a profit from it and then sell it when they can. And I think they're just very short of their valuation of what they want the club to be at the moment, and they just make a mistake after mistake. Yeah, I don't know. It's just we could talk about this all day.
Yeah, I'm like you, you know, all the legends, well, all the legends, and many were driven out, and then, you know, the signings and the selling of key players, and yeah, signing silly signings, as well.
Yeah,
It's just mad, I have to admit. And then, like you say, let's not just pick on Milan, but what do you think of Conte at Napoli? I mean, that's less of a risk, I guess,
yeah. I
of the
mean,
sacking. But if things don't work out for him in tonight's game,
yeah, but I mean,
what happens there?
let's put this another way. I mean, this is where I just can't stand how pathetic people are when it comes to football. In the sense of like, let's just say that Inter win. If they Inter beat Napoli tonight, they're going to be 4 points ahead. That's four
Yeah,
points. Before Napoli were ahead of them by around that or more, or whatever, isn't it? So it's not cut and dry, and all of a sudden you're out. And then what? If say Napoli went and won the rest of their games for the rest of the season, and they won the league, what would this game matter? It wouldn't. So I just don't understand already questioning him and stuff like that. It's just ridiculous. I mean, if he wants to stay there, he'll stay there. I mean, his job wasn't to win the league this season.
no,
I mean, they did nothing last season. His job was basically get into the Champions League, and that's it. So if they win, it's a bonus. It's more likely this season that they can do it compared to next because they'll be in Europe. But there's no. I don't see where the questions are coming from. Do you know what I mean? Yes, they've been on
yeah,
a bad run of form, but they're still up the top of the table. So if people are going to turn around and say, "Oh, Conte is doing rubbish," then they have to look at all the other 18 teams underneath them and say, what are they going to do with their managers then? Are they all doing bad? I mean, how do you rate this stuff? It's just stupid. But yeah, I don't see why he would want to do one season of building this team together and then just leave. Would seem like a stupid move. And if the rumours of him going to Milan are even true, then I just think again why he's just taking a less pressured job in the sense of the way it's going, Milan won't be in Europe, which is what he loves. But what's the point of doing that every season? You build a team up, you might as well stick out and go in the next season. It's just like all these teams, players, managers, and all that. They're so quick to just give up, or not give up, but just go somewhere else. And it's down to the money. If it came to football in terms, a lot of these teams and players and managers need to be sticking where they are and doing a job where they're assigned to do that job in the first place, isn't it? But
yeah. Well, let's see what happens with that one. And just on the third one, at risk is Gasperini. Um,
well,
how
it's all
about
it's
that
all
then?
of them. It's all of them. I mean, there's Motta as well, isn't there?
Well, I mean, Motta's had the backing just a
But
couple of
there's
days ago.
it's always the vote of confidence, isn't it? Though that's always seen as they do that just before they end up sacking them. So do you know what I mean? Again, as I said, words are words. It's the actions that matter, don't they? And
Yeah.
again,
So, do you think Gasparini should be fired,
fired.
considering what he?
Well,
Yeah,
no. Again,
considering the European failure, even just now, I guess I'm guessing it was a draw 0-0 with
well, they're still
Venezia. Yeah.
playing. They're still playing. Like
Yeah.
30 seconds left. But
Yeah.
yeah, they've been inconsistent. I mean,
With a
if
team like that, I mean, I know he's brought that squad up, he's built it, he's done great things with it. I'm firing from my side. I think is a bit harsh, but big questions have to be asked. I think the teams that he should be beating, he has not been. I don't know. I
but
wouldn't fire him as such at this early stage, but
but they're 3 points off the top
3 points off the top, yes. But
at
have
the
you?
moment.
Yeah, how about what about Club Bruges?
Yeah, no,
Twice.
I understand that. I do understand that, and I
That's not okay, I think.
no, but that can't be put down all down to him as well. And in the end of the day, as I say, the the expectations that they've got for Atalanta, where have they come from? They've all
Mm,
come from what he's done and what he's
yeah,
built. Atalanta weren't a Champions League team before. They
yeah,
weren't fighting for that all the time. So if he's done that for them, surely from a like even a logical point of view and like stuff that you look at it, you've got to say this guy deserves more of a chance than any other managers that have just been there for one season, 2 seasons,
mm,
whatever, don't they?
mm.
So I think it'll be. I mean, from the sounds of it, he's not happy there anyway, and they're trying to find any excuse. But even if he goes somewhere else, like they're saying Roma, for example, it's if he goes somewhere, especially now the way things are now, are they going to give him enough time to actually build what he's done?
Of course they're not. He's been lucky at
So,
Atalanta where he's had that time.
so
I think anywhere else, because the only places he will go next are teams that are a step up from Atalanta resource wise, and yeah, those teams won't have the patience.
yeah, and it's how
If
quickly,
they lose to Club Bruges, for example,
yeah,
that's straight. That could well be a firing, couldn't it?
well, yeah, and that's the thing. It's I think if he does end up going, I don't know how long he'd be, probably till he ends up retiring, to be honest, or he'll just
Yeah,
be going from one job to another for the rest of his career.
yeah.
I mean, I think Atlanta would be crazy to just give up like that. It depends. I mean, who are they going to bring in to? Because you've got to think the identity that Atlanta got and the way they play football is not similar to every other team. It's not a standard basic forward backwards sort of thing. That the way he gets the team moving and the players moving and everything, they're gonna. That's why players like Koopmeiners has had issues when he's gone to Juventus. He's not a bad player. He's still a good player, but he's gone from an Atalanta team that plays basically all over the pitch to being told he's got to stay in a certain position or a certain place or
Mm,
whatever.
mm.
And it's going to be the same for any of their players. But if Gasperini goes somewhere, that's going to be a whole team. Like another manager comes into Atalanta, are they actually going to keep them playing like they are? Because I don't think they are. They're going to end up trying to change the whole system because they can't.
Oh,
They
of
don't play
course,
like
yeah.
Gasperini.
It will be totally
And
different.
then what? And then what happens? Atlanta go back down to being a mid-table team or something. Like yeah, there's no guarantees in football, but the problem is football is, as I was saying before, is so petty. It takes they watch a Euros or a World Cup and a player that they've never heard of in their life scores 2 goals and all of a sudden he's the best thing in the world, and they spend all the money on him and he's useless. You tell me. I don't know. I think the patience in football is thin and doesn't even or exist at all, and
Mm.
it's just it's not real life. As I said many a times, football is not real life.
So you say keep them all. Let's not fire any of
I'm
them.
not saying keep them more. I mean, it depends. I'm saying you've got to give them chances to be able to put in place the reason you got them over in the first place. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but that game's finished 0-0, and
Yeah. So another
it's
reason, I
yeah.
guess, against your
As I say,
commitment to.
they're still up there. What would everyone be saying at the end of the season if all of a sudden Atlanta won that? They're not that far off the top. If they go on a streak, I know they're not doing great at the moment. But if they go
Yeah.
on a winning streak and Napoli and Inter mess up and Juve mess up and whatever, and they actually win the league, then what are people going to be saying then?
He'll be a hero and they will not fire him for sure. But I think, personally, I think the chances are slim of them being the guys to win Serie A. I'm just saying that right now.
I mean,
We can
there's
play this back at the end of the season.
no,
Hopefully,
it's not. I'm just saying, it's not impossible though, is it? It's not an impossible thing.
oh, no, of course not. Of
No,
course not. I
no,
mean,
exactly.
I think, yeah, I think it's from my side, I mean, the way they've been playing, it's unlikely. The way they've been fumbling, it's unlikely.
Yeah, but so is everyone else around them. That's what I'm saying. It's still that option is still there. I mean, tonight is going to make a difference for this week, obviously, and it depends on how far they would be in front of Atlanta. Because if Inter and Napoli draw, then Atlanta are still 3 points behind Napoli. Do you know what I mean? And 4 points behind Inter.
Mm.
So it won't. That's not much difference, is it? And as I say, they've still got to be playing each other and stuff like that. So there is that opportunity to grab the 3 points against each other, as well as the teams around them. And if they can do that, they're dragging those teams down while pulling themselves 3 points up. So
Yeah, I wish I could be more as optimistic as you about Atalanta's
yeah,
chances. I've just, from what
no, no,
I've
no, but
seen,
yeah,
I've said it to you throughout the season that when they have the big chances to grab, um, not just in Europe, but even in Serie A, it seems like they do fumble. And from my side, it's not what Scudetto winner looks like. But they can prove me wrong. Like you say, there's not much margin in it, is there?
no, and that's what I'm saying. Because I mean, even from an outside chance, and I know it's a very big outside chance, especially the way again they've been playing. But I mean, Juve are 8 points from Inter at the moment, and that's still 8 points.
Are
Ten
we
points is
doing that crazy talk now?
no,
Okay,
no,
so
no. But I'm just
let's look at Milan now. Okay, I think
no, no,
maybe,
no. But
yeah,
I am just saying. There's still 12 games left or something, and there's
yeah,
10 points between Inter and Lazio in fifth. ten
yeah.
points is not great if everyone's dropping points everywhere, is it? Because if those teams like say Lazio and Juve go on winning streaks and Atalanta and whatever, if Napoli and Inter keep dropping points, they're not even going to be in the top three. Do you know what I mean? Like there's it's still yes, it's a very outside chance, but the chance is still there. As I've always said to you, like for me, it's like when watching a game and a team's 2-0 up and there's 10 minutes left and everyone's celebrating. Why? Like, until the whistle's gone, there's always chances. Do you know what I mean? And it's the same in the league. It's a marathon, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's I'm not saying they're definitely going to go on and win it or that team's going to go and do it. No, because as we say all the time, it's unpredictable. We don't know what's going to happen. But if one team takes a winning streak on until the end of the season, they're going to be the favourites to do it. But we don't know who that would be because at the moment,
From my side, I think it's not going to be anyone outside of Napoli or Inter, personally. Yeah, I don't know what you think if you were forced to name a team or two
I
teams
mean,
right now. Sounds like
but that's
Atalanta might be on your lips a little bit.
well, no, no, it's not that. No, 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 because that's twisting my words, man. Because at the end of the day, all I'm
You
saying
made a
is
good
they've
case for
Well,
Atalanta. I
yeah, but
thought
all
you
I'm
would
saying
be
is
saying,
they've got the chance. The teams who have it in their hands at the moment are obviously Inter Napoli. Whatever happens in this game that comes up next, if one of those teams can win it, they have it in their hands again. But Napoli had it in their hands before, and Inter have overtaken them. And I'm just saying there is still that chance that Atalanta and even Juve at a push have that chance if they could go on a winning streak and these other teams mess up. But we can't. It's too difficult to call. If there's a favourite, it's hard to pick one because they're so inconsistent. If anything, I think Inter have been picking up recently compared to all the other teams.
mm,
Just about, I
mm,
would say, and that's why I would personally, if I had to pick one team, say Inter
mm,
because of that. But that's only going on what's going on recently. I
yeah,
can't tell you what's going to happen in the next, as I say, 12 games.
yeah.
Anything can happen. So that's why I couldn't give you a team name for definite. But I'm just saying that everyone, until it's mathematically impossible, has that chance. And
But
that's
you
it.
say Inter is the one if you were choosing
If I had
based
to
on,
say a
yeah,
team at the moment, at this
yeah,
precise moment, yeah. But
okay.
that can also change, as I say, if Napoli go on and win tonight, um, well, in about an hour or so, then do you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah. That's why for me, I think it's out of the two. I can't really say out of the two. It's very hard right now, but I think it's going to be one of them. That's what I think. But yeah, okay. I guess
Yeah,
we've gone a little over time here. So it's going to be a bit of editing to do, and then we'll put this up.
no worries.
Yeah, and just in under 1 hour, we will see that into Napoli or Napoli into game, and it's going to be amazing. I'd urge everyone to watch it.
Okie doke. All right.
Great.
I will speak to you next week.
Cheers. See you next time.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.